Arts present Youth Week 2018, empowering our youth, shaping our community, protecting our future. The week of activities kicks off on Friday, November 9th, with the minister's address from 8 p.m. Saturday, 10th November, health fair, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cuthbert Peters Park, War, and the Fitness Revolution, 3 p.m. Concord Junction. Sunday, 11th November, it's the Peace Concert, Grenville Bus Terminal. On Tuesday, 13th November, ministers meet with the youth at Her Majesty's Prison. Thursday, 15th November from 5 p.m. It's the Imani Graduation, Youth Awards and Gala. And on Friday, 16th through the weekend, it's the National Youth Service Weekend. Every parish get involved. And on Saturday, 17th November, it's Youth Expo, Explosion Fashion and Cultural Day, 2 p.m. until at Hero Square, Victoria in St. Mark. So remember, Youth Week 2018, November 9th to the 17th. Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
There's so much going on with the NNP, and we're just getting started. From candidate launches to contests, events, and breaking news. Be in the know. Get notified first about big events and announcements. Plus, we're here to listen. We want to hear from you. Leave us a comment, tell us what's working and what's not. Like what we're doing? Let us know. The NNP is working for you. Interact with us on Facebook. Come on, Grenada, get connected. Like us on Facebook/NNP Grenada and keep moving.
You do in 30 minutes. You could be on one of our 45 black and white sand beaches, or perched atop a lush mountainside admiring our stunning coastline, or slicing the Caribbean Sea on a traditionally built sloop, or adventuring off the beaten path, or hanging out with our underwater sculptures, or do nothing at all. Whatever you choose, an amazing vacation is only 30 minutes away in Grenada. Visit www.puregrenada.com.
Stay up to date with all that's happening with the new National Party, NNP. Send us a message via text or WhatsApp on 405-8683 with your name, email, and constituency. Stay in the know with NNP. Get updated.
It is said that education is the key to success. The Grenada Development Bank believes this to be the truth, hence the reason we have made it our prerogative to ensure that your key is in safe hands with us. Here is how you can unlock your success with an education loan from the GDB. We offer you 3 loan options. We've got our regular student loan, our work-study student loan, and our special student loan. Our regular student loan is for persons who wish to pursue full-time tertiary level education. If you are a permanent employee who wish to study while continuing your employment, then our work-study loan is for you. Our special student loan is in collaboration with the Government of Grenada, geared towards vulnerable persons who would like to pursue higher level education. Remember, you must have proof of admission from a recognized institution here at home or abroad. All our loans are 100% financing with interest rates as low as 5%. Get your funding from GDB today for your tertiary level education, your technical training or vocational training, even professional development, with up to 12 years to repay. Your future success is today. Grab it now.
Blessings I give to east, west, north, and south. Oh, Grenada, Grenada, here I come. Sweet, sweet Grenada. I will never, ever, ever weeping eye. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. Dun, dun. It's quite a long time now since you have fallen back to the last rung of the ladder, and your neighbors stand up there and uttering no talk, but to help they just don't bother. Some of your friends have turned their backs on you. They don't want to see a friend with your name on it. Don't bother with them. One day you go rise up too. Cause in times to come is the bread they might have to eat. Listen, let we go. Oh, Grenada, Grenada, here I come. Sweet, sweet Grenada. I will never, ever, ever let you down. Oh no. I'll always be your support. Right here by your side. With my arms around you to wipe your weeping eye. Let we go. Listen, it's time that we take a stand to defend your position from all those smart rip-off scams who just come to take a bite and make their own decision and boast to the world that they are the reigning champs. While your friends, them happy, had times they were going through, they still wouldn't help you out if you beg them, please. But woe unto them, little do they know that a good name is better than great riches. Oh, Grenada, Grenada, here I come. Sweet, sweet Grenada.
Yes, indeed.
I will never, ever,
Never ever.
ever let you down. Oh no, I'll always be
For sure.
right here by your side. With my arms around you to wipe your weeping eye. Dun, dun.
And good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique once again. It's time for Hard Talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
And I'm Devon Romain.
And this is Hard Talk. We're live on 97.5 City Sound FM.
And 89.5 CRFM.
92.9 Sister Isles out there on the beautiful Sister Isles of Carriacou. And Petit Martinique broadcasting from Hillsborough in Carriacou.
And 94.9 We Vibes Radio in Brooklyn. Good morning.
Yes,
Kunumunu, man.
Kunumunu, good morning to you. Yeah, the Kunumunu go interfere with us, eh? Yeah, but here all kind of thing take place over there. We will come to them. Yeah, we will come to them too.
It's a time and place for everything.
Yeah, it's the day after referendum day.
Yes.
Yeah. So Grenada successfully staged a referendum yesterday. You know, people going to take what I say now and try to twist it, eh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying it again. Grenada successfully staged a referendum yesterday. In other words,
Successfully.
yeah, they successfully staged a referendum. Yeah? There was a question before the people. Now, if you didn't want to put a question before the people, you just impose what you had to impose, forget constitution, forget everything and do what you had to do.
Yeah.
But you put a question before the people. And you put a question before the people for them to make a decision. Is anything wrong with that?
That's democracy.
No, you put a question before the people. You didn't have to go through the process, but believing it is the best thing for Grenada, especially at this time, the government decided to put forward a referendum on the issue of the Caribbean Court of Justice. And the government, through the advisory committee, on many forums, on radio, television, in newspapers, via the internet, etc., public meetings and so on, the advisory committee stated the case for putting the CCJ as the final court of appeal for Grenada. And it put the case forward so that people could make a decision. Of course, you won't put it forward if you don't believe in it, so there's nothing wrong with saying vote yes. Because this is something that you ought to support and giving reasons for such.
That's why you're putting it forward anyways, because you support it.
So the advisory committee did nothing wrong in putting forward a case for voting yes. If others had a case for voting no, they should have put forward that case. But instead, what some thought it best to do was to attempt to muddy the waters, to use distortion, lies, half-truths, all that sort of information. That's what they put out. In relation to the issue of the Caribbean Court of Justice, they put out a lot of half-truths, lies, downright lies, blatant lies, and in the case of Randall Robinson, things that he go face legal consequences for. Yeah, outright lies in relation to the issue of the Caribbean Court of Justice. And the people, some of them now being confused on the particular issue, decided that they would vote in a particular way or not vote at all.
Not vote at all.
So I think you had 20-something percent. 20-something percent of the population would have gone forward. The voting population, that's those people who are registered to vote, just about 20-something percent went out and cast a ballot yesterday. Many people just decided, listen, this issue, I'm just too confused on it. I'm not going to bother. I had messages from people yesterday asking, well, listen, all the time you all been having these meetings, I really didn't follow, but what is it really about? Yesterday, the day that the vote is taking place. Of course, me responding because that would be illegal. But yesterday,
I was going to the polling station yesterday and I was explaining to a number of young people on my way towards the polling station and everything, like trying to not convince them, but to, because they asked questions, trying to explain to them what it's all about, and they were like, that I thought this thing was more difficult than that. When you explain to them what it is that they're going to do. And,
you see, you have to understand something, that first of all, the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, is not a sexy topic.
Injuicy at all.
It's not a sexy topic. It's not a topic that you expect a lot of people are going to want to hear about, a lot of people are going to feel interested in sitting down and speaking about, especially when you're starting to hear legal terms like appellate court and original jurisdiction and this sort of thing. The average person out there, while they understand, they can understand and they do understand what it means, it's just not interesting to them. Yeah? A lot of the young people, it's not something that would be interesting to them. So a lot of people stayed away from this particular one. And we listened last night, Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell making it absolutely clear that it is not likely that another referendum will be held during his tenure as Prime Minister of Grenada. It is not likely. He did nothing wrong, you know. He believed that this was the right thing to do. And he's not alone, because in Antigua, you had Prime Minister Gaston Brown doing the same thing. Of course, the process also did not pass in Antigua, but he believed that the right thing to do was to offer the Grenadian people an opportunity to remove themselves from one of the last bastions of colonialism, which is still having to go to the Privy Council. You remember, within days of coming into office, the revolutionary government removed Grenada from the Privy Council. So it's not that Grenada has never been removed from the Privy Council. During the years 1979 to 1984, not 1983, 1984, Grenada would not have been under the Privy Council. It would have been under their own, Grenada's own Supreme Court. There was a court that was set up here specifically in Grenada during that period of time. Yeah? It may be that in the future, Grenadians may decide to go that route again and have their own court. Instead of the CCJ, they may decide they want to have their own court. But you're going to end up with people saying the same thing again. Who's paying the lawyers? Who's paying the judges, sorry? Who is going to be selecting the judges and so on? It's going to be the same issues
argument
that people raise is going to come up again. But one thing is for sure, though, is that one day, it may be sooner, it may be later, Grenada, the state of Grenada, no matter who is prime minister or which political party is in office, will be going to the CCJ. That's for sure. Because we can assure you that the day will come, it can be sooner, it can be later, that the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council, the board, the Privy Council, whichever name you want to call them by, will no longer be around to take the final cases out of Grenada. And some people have been asking, well, who had a case day before? The Grenada 17 had a case at the Privy Council. That's the reason that the Grenada 17 are free now. Their case went to the Privy Council. One of the Grenada 17 even brought a case afterwards to the Privy Council. Again, Ewart Lane, there's a case that's presently before the Privy Council. It was argued just a week before. I think judgment has been reserved thus far in relation to that particular case. But there are Grenadians who have brought cases to the Privy Council. And the vast majority of Grenadians cannot bring cases to the Privy Council because they just cannot afford it. So those individuals who were in the traveling circus of no, I make no apologies for calling them that, the traveling circus of no, because that's what they are, the traveling circus of no. Because their entire opposition to Grenada going to the Privy Council had absolutely nothing to do with the bill. Because if you go to them today, the day after the referendum, some of the things they were telling you about the bill, they will all of a sudden stop telling you, They're going to stop saying it now.
You know, Sheldon, where I have a problem with is the dishonesty and the deceitfulness of some of our Grenadian personnel, some of our lawyers, and I'll point out one in particular, Ms. Claudette Joseph, right? Some of our other politicians and persons who decided to try to convince people to vote no, right? They are dishonest, deceitful people, and you know, come couple of years, you will see them jumping on a political bandwagon and coming and face the Grenadian people, right? After they spend all this time trying to convince them of lies, and so when it comes to the CCJ, shame on you guys.
We'll say this. I'll say this. Many of the faces that you've seen on the No campaign, expect to see them in 4 to 5 years on the political campaign trail. Those same faces that you've just seen on the No campaign, certain lawyers, certain people who say they are non-governmental organizations, certain people who claim to be journalists, you are going to see them. Because you see me, I'm a political activist. I don't hide in the background and say that I'm a journalist and then pushing a political agenda. I have a political agenda. This is a program of the new National Party. We don't hide that.
Straight up.
We don't have to go and try and come out like if we are some impartial observer to everything going on in Grenada. This is a new National Party radio program. I am an operative, a political activist of the new National Party. I don't try to bamboozle people and play like, oh, and as I in this, but I in the background. And I playing like I just like people and this kind of thing. No, I'm straightforward. And we are straightforward. I could tell you, Dr. Mitchell would never allow anything like that to happen here anyway. This is a new National Party program and he has nothing to hide. So he can come out and say this is a new National Party program. It does not mean that what we are saying is lies. We could defend anything we say here. Anything we say, we are always able to defend it. Hence the reason, Devon, have you ever been sued?
Oh, never.
I've not been sued by anybody. Because what we say is the truth. So it doesn't matter who we work for. It doesn't matter who pays my salary. What matters is if what I'm saying is the truth or not. Don't allow some of these people, the pseudo-intellectuals on the sidelines, to come and try to make other issues. Because I realize there are a group of individuals that start back attacking me. and they maybe feel that I afraid them. But they should remember that when the NDC was in office with 11 seats, the New National Party had 4, and we were in opposition, that my voice, along with people like Alan Campbell, Andre Donald, were some of the only voices that you used to hear out there, together with Dr. Mitchell, Roland Bowler, Clarice Charles, and the New National Party parliamentary team, Elvin Nimrod, Dwight Hosward, and so on. These were some of the only voices you used to hear out there, seriously in opposition to the government at the day. And not just in opposition, but if they did something good, we agreed with it. Because it wasn't just about being in opposition. It was about making sure that the people's business was conducted fairly.
And they wanted to deport you too?
They tried that. I see the policeman the other day. I see them the other day. I see the policeman. He said, let's pass and watch me. All you could watch.
But you know,
but they say holy watch.
The thing is, we have been, so many things have been said about myself and Sheldon over the last 2 years, right? When it comes to what we have been saying on the program and so. They can't dispute because we talk the facts, but so many slanderous things have been said about us.
Boss, I gotta be a rich man. Up to the other day, a young lady started to say some things online. I warned her, I said, young lady, don't go down that road. She said more, I said, don't go down that road. When I contact my lawyers and them now, then she messaged me personally and started to beg now, please, relative just died and she's under stress. I said, okay, I just forget it. I just, because I could have be a wealthy fella, you know, some people could have been sitting in prison because they owe me. But I didn't bother. I haven't bothered with it, generally. I haven't bothered with this sort of thing. Yeah, because she won sit down in New York. But she must come in Grenada. I'm repeating it today. She must come in Grenada. Because the moment she arrives in Grenada, she will face legal proceedings. She must come down here. Don't come and cut out part of what I say and use the other part. Come in Grenada. Because you will face legal proceedings. In fact, you might stay in the States and face legal proceedings. That's not a threat. That's a promise. But anyway, Devon, back to yesterday. We did see in some constituencies that the yes vote was in the majority in some constituencies. And we must congratulate those constituencies. The constituency of St. George Northwest, St. Mark, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And I need to say this as well. In Petit Martinique, the yes vote did win by a serious margin too, in Petit Martinique. And St. Andrew Southeast, those 4 constituencies, the yes vote did prevail in those constituencies. Because I see some people jumping up today as, well, last night as well, as they win and gloating about they win. But I want to know what they really win.
What is there to gloat about?
I want to know seriously, what have you won? Because I'm asking that question in the context of this. The poor people who are in a constituency now, the poor people who are in a particular constituency now, that you saying that you want to represent, in some instances, the poor people who are in those constituencies and who have a legal issue right now, who have an issue that they need addressed, that their child is sitting in prison at the Richmond Hill prison and has been unfairly treated through the High Court, that person has gotten a sentence that they should not have gotten. In other words, maybe they're supposed to get 5 years, but they get 15. When you take into consideration other aspects of the case, that they have been sentenced unfairly in their view and in the general view. Because there are people that sometimes, as I say, guilty by association, a group of people go, you happen to be in the group, something happened, but you get charged as the same as the person who struck the blow and killed somebody, but you were just there and you get the same sentence as them. That's unfair, isn't it?
It is.
It might be your child. Some people are saying, well, oh, that don't... No, it doesn't happen. It isn't your problem until the day comes about that it's your child or you or somebody close to you.
Reality check.
So those who have been saying no better, and let me clarify, I'm not against the people who say no, you know. I'm against those who know better and for nothing but political malice and spite, hatred of a particular political party and its political leader have decided that they are going to encourage people to vote no. They know better. They know that this is something good for Grenada. They know that it is something that would benefit the poorer people in Grenada who really cannot afford that access to justice. The people whose children may be sitting in prison right now can't afford to bring a case to the Privy Council to get proper judgment on it. The policeman who started the process of going to the Privy Council and could not complete it because of the cost that was involved in it. They know of these situations, and they know that these individuals had a better chance of receiving justice through the CCJ than the Privy Council, but they encourage people to vote no. But I'll say this to them. Yeah, I'll say this to them. I often remember an interview with George Bush Jr. just when he was leaving office. And people may say, George Bush, that man talking about? No. But he made a statement that has never left me. In one of the last interviews he did as President of the United States. You know what he said? George Bush said that he isn't really interested in what people say about his presidency at that point in time that he was leaving office. That would have been 2008. He isn't really interested in what people say about his presidency at that point in time. It's in the future you will see if the right decisions were made. Did he keep the American people safe? Did he stop terrorism? Did he put things in place that are going to benefit the American people 10, 15, 20 years down the road? He says his legacy would not be framed by what people think at that point in time, but his legacy would be framed by what happens to America and the American people in the future that he put in train at that point in time. And that was a very strong statement. Hate him or love him, it's a strong statement. Doesn't matter who the messenger is, it's the message.
It's the message.
And it's a strong message because it says in the future, basically, what I'm saying here is in the future, we will see if the right decision or wrong decision was made yesterday. The bottom line is that the job of the advisory committee was to inform. So who wanted to be informed, they were informed. In fact, some of them say they received too much information. By the time you try to talk to some people, they say, oh gosh, CCJ again, I don't want to hear that. Oh gosh, CCJ again. When I was in Carriacou recently, some people, by the time I try to talk to one or two relatives about CCJ, it's like, oh gosh, CCJ again. Oh gosh, I fed up here about that. Oh gosh, no, I voted yes, I voted yes. I don't want to hear nothing again. But for a lot of people who did not understand, they believed that the best approach for them was to simply vote no or not vote at all. So that what existed before that they are safe with and that they believe that they are safe with, that continues to exist. And as we said even before yesterday, as of today, what existed before continues to exist. Yeah?
You know, I'm disappointed.
So the only thing lost was an opportunity.
I'm disappointed. I have to say that. I'm disappointed in a lot of us, in our dishonesty.
Hey, don't put us in that one, huh? A lot of them.
Yeah, well, information, right, has been going out about the CCJ for months, not years, right? And yet for all, you hear persons who other persons look up to, and so telling people that they know nothing about the CCJ. They're just hearing it because it's on the radio or whatever. I mean, pure dishonesty. Why? I mean,
my brother, you can only inform an individual who wants to be informed. There is no way you can inform people who are not interested or don't want to be informed. Yeah, some people are busy with other things, and last minute they decided, well, let's see what we could find out about the CCJ and that sort of thing. So the last minute they tried to see what they could find, but there's nothing the committee could have put out all the information it wants to put out. It could have been on every television program. Some people turn on and as soon as they see what CCJ they're talking about, they click. They go on and watch some cartoon or something else. They go and watch something else. That's what happened. And then these are some of the same people that came to say that they were not informed. Yeah, you have meetings in an area. You have 50-something people come out. You have 30-something people come out. In some, you might have 20-something people come out. And then the same people who live in that area that heard that it have the meeting still come and say, well, we were not informed. We don't know about this thing. You can't blame the committee for that. You blame yourself. Yeah? Because the committee did the job that they were asked to do without being paid. the committee did the job that they were supposed to do. Yeah? And I must, at this stage as well, though, congratulate the Parliamentary Electoral Office for ensuring a very smooth flow yesterday. I didn't hear of any hiccups and that sort of thing. The smooth flow yesterday, and also for the quick, while you're waiting for Antigua finished counting somewhere after 10-11 last night, and they just had a couple thousand more votes than us. But Grenada had everything was in basically by 7 o'clock. Yeah, all the information was in by 7 o'clock. I think we have some callers trying to get you. Let's take some of the callers, Devon.
Good morning and welcome. Good
Hello.
morning.
Morning.
Sheldon Scott and Devon Romain, good morning.
Good
Morning,
morning,
my dear.
Thank God for the breath of life.
Praise God.
I want to say good morning to my friends in America and England. Mr. Watts, I hope you reach home safe. Zingo, Mr. Deputy, Patricia, Matthew, everybody, and all the rest of Grenadians out there. And those in Grenada here. Mr. Scott, to be honest speaking, I'm very disappointed with Grenadian people. You know something? These people don't come out and vote. They sit back in their home. But they go get up tomorrow morning. And I know they listen to me loud and clear. Or they will go out and vote. But tomorrow morning, or you will find out yourself in Busheju, or you will find out yourself in Mr. Peter David office in the road, and by Mr. Steele, and by them other people to beg. But I didn't have time to get up yesterday morning to go and do something for all your grandchildren and all yourself. You understand? They don't come out and vote, they sit at home. And no apology. Allow me to say what I said this morning. Otherwise, I don't call them at a radio station. Those people in the public service, you see what they do with the union and them teachers and all of them? That is a plan. They plan themselves. So these people don't go out and vote. They don't go out and vote. You understand? They don't go out and vote. And now this morning, so them talking about the lawyers. But the lawyers go deal with all you and all you have all your problems. And all your case. And you want to go with all your cash money now. No sympathy. They go out for you. The same woman who is the lawyer that said no. She had to go over with money. She will go in the court with all you and stand up with all you. Right? Or you will go tomorrow morning and beg. Don't go tomorrow morning. Don't go where the Prime Minister and cry out your problems tomorrow morning. Go and get work. Go and get work because you couldn't get up yesterday morning to go and vote for something for your children and all your grandchildren. Have a good day, Mr. Scott.
Have a good day, Camille.
Camille, I like to get you this Camille. But I have this to say, the thing is this.
She's a plain speaker.
No, she's a plain speaker. It's an issue. I don't think anyone on the island of Grenada can say that they did not know yesterday was referendum day. I don't think any of them who are registered to vote and are here can say that they didn't have the opportunity to go and vote. Your business place, wherever you're working, had to give you the time to go and vote and so. But what I'm saying is this. Maybe some of them were confused by a lot of the negativity that was thrown out over the weekend. For instance, you had some of them. I was in St. George, right by Cam himself, and you had one of the NDC activists coming up there and saying that, oh, they're trying to institute gay rights here in Grenada and all this sort of nonsense. And the thing is this, that the head of the Privy Council, no, I want to let you all know some of what transpired. The head of the Privy Council has said clearly that the Privy Council must protect gay rights and protect gay marriage. And she made that statement only last month. And this is what some people told you to remain in the Privy Council. Yeah? So, I mean, if that's what some of them want, if that's what the majority of people who voted yesterday want, well, who am I to say no? Yeah? If they say no, then who am I to say no?
Yeah, you know.
Who am I to say no to the no? If that's what they want. They want to remain in the Privy Council with Lady Hale and Lord Black and these different people.
And Lord Brown and
No, there's actually a Lord Black, but yeah, a Lord Brown. But if they want to stay there, then it's up to them. Yeah?
Good
but
morning.
don't come to me and accuse me of doing what you did.
Yeah.
Because when the time comes, as I said, remember I was making the statement about George Bush and what he said. It is not what people think happened now. It is how it comes to affect you, the individual, your community, and your country in the future. And I don't think that's what a lot of people did not realize that. So those who jumping up yesterday about they win. According to many of my good friends online, when is the swearing in? Because as far as I know, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, whose political organization swept the polls in 2013 from opposition and in 2018 while in government, who swept the polls cleanly on both occasions, as far as I know, his government is still in office. And he is the Prime Minister of Grenada and remains the Prime Minister of Grenada. And his team, his cabinet of ministers still remains in place. And all of the parliamentary representatives, all 15 of them, remain in place. So I'm wondering, what did they really win last night that they're so jumping up and who drinking rum and all kind of thing, and they having the little get-togethers and so celebrating? What are you celebrating? The fact that you have been successful in dissuading a certain portion of the population from something that you know is good for them? It's not now. Don't worry about now, you know. It's when the Privy Council decide that they close their doors to Grenada and you have to go through the same process again, this time without an option, that you can realize what some of these people did. It's when it comes to the point that cases, like the same thing I mentioned a while ago, ends up in front of the Privy Council and a judgment is handed down that the vast majority of Grenadians are against, that they're going to realize what went on. We have a caller. No, don't worry. I'm smiling because I did the right thing.
Good morning.
Morning, Devon.
Hey, good morning to you.
My concern is this, yeah? You know, not only about the CCG, because we have a number of bandwagonists jumping up without any sense of reasoning. But however, you know, some people also talking about the teachers and things. And let me say this, Brother Scott, as well, and Devon. I think the Parliamentary Elections Office, our Prime Minister, our Minister for Education, and all concerned Grenadians should make it mandatory that teachers should not act as clerks and so on, overseeing not only yesterday's referendum, but election. You know why? They can't go in school yesterday. They couldn't go today. They couldn't go Monday. But some of them had to reach at those polling stations from since 6 o'clock and left after 8 and 9 last night. And back there this morning, they can't reach for 8 in the morning on normal school days, you know. They can't have their phones operating in those same polling stations during normal school hours, you know, and polling hours. They can't stay back with our children on afternoon times for a few hours for free. But they had to get up also this morning and be back at those polling stations for the recount. Yesterday, they worked. Today is a day of rest, but some of them went back in the very same schools that the union leader told them stay home from and take a day of rest. But going and getting pay for yesterday, that is unfair as a taxpayer to me of this country. This is unfair. And I'm saying that I stand with the Minister for Education, and I believe that what the teachers have done and are doing, it is illegal. And that is my take on it, because as I said, if they can't work during normal day and during normal hours, why then yesterday a lot of them were acting as clerks and so on at the different polling stations? That is just my take on it.
All right. Thank you so very much, my friend. Yes, indeed. And the thing is this, there's the issue with the teachers right now. And I've been looking online, and I've seen some very troubling statements being made online. Very troubling statements. And I say troubling in this context. It is this new National Party administration that regularized hundreds of teachers who for years had to stay and wait until September. Let's take this call on the overseas line and I'll come back to that.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, comrades.
Good morning, comrade.
Let's take a positive. because no one is. They say we live in a one-party state, and our leader is corrupted. How come no one is saying that this election was fixed? That's my first take, you know. And you see, when we talk about this gay thing, let's get it right, and they better know it. Yes? If, under the rule of the Privy Council, you don't take heed, aid will be held back from Grenada. Those are the conditions that will be set by the United Kingdom and the Privy Council. Yesterday, we made a very, very big mistake. The cost of coming to London. Yesterday, I asked a simple question. Give me 3 reasons why the people should vote no, and everything leads to the Right Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell. You know, we are not a thinking people. It is time we start to read and research history and the history of colonialism and how it affects us. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, we do. Hello.
We need to change our attitude and start believing ourselves. You know, when we think that our leaders are corrupt and believe that we'll get fair play from Europe, what are we saying about ourselves? Do we have confidence in ourselves? Do we respect our flag? Do we respect our national anthem? What exactly do we believe in? You know, it's sad that Grenadians have chosen this route, you know? So they must get together and realize that the condition that they must accept now is gay marriages, and just get over it.
Okay, my brother.
That's where we are today. Have a blessed day to you both, sir.
Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.
You know, but that's just one aspect of it. I hear some people making this, because I'm the only reason I mentioned even that particular aspect of it is because the people who were saying vote no were accusing us of being the ones that were trying to impose that. Mm-hmm. They were saying that we were the ones that were trying to impose that, when they were actually the ones that secretly campaigning to make sure that that can happen in the state of Grenada, because already you've had certain things legalized in certain countries within the region and other challenges being made in other countries within the region. So, but I was making the point about the teachers. And let me make this point before we take more calls. I'm seeing the phone line lighting up, but we'll take some calls in a little while again. I am really troubled by some of the statements I see being made. One, the attacks that are being made on teachers in general about how they're lazy and they're wicked and they're greedy and they're this and they're that and so on. I do not agree with those statements. I do not agree with those statements. I believe here in the state of Grenada, we have very hard-working teachers. In every barrel of mango, you must have one that are 2 worm in it. But I believe that in the state of Grenada, we have some excellent teachers who go above and beyond the call of duty to ensure the education of our people. Not just our children, because some teach people are not really children, evening classes and so on, that give up their time, that make sacrifices, that would pull out a little $5 and give a child to reach home because they don't have the money to take the bus today and they don't want to expose them to one of the predators out there. So they might give them a 5, they give them a 10, that sort of thing. I've known teachers that actually buy shoes for children. I've known teachers that have gone way above to deal with different situations with children and so on, or who are the first ones to recognize certain things are wrong with a child. Sometimes the teacher will see them all the time, I know that is not a child, I know something up, to pull them aside and talk to them and so on. So, excuse me, we have wonderful teachers, and it's reflected in the results that we see coming out when it comes to the CSEC exams and the CXC exams and so on. It is reflected that we've been seeing increases and so on in the pass rates and different things like that. So we know for a fact we have good teachers. But at the same token, the teachers and it was very unfortunate. In fact, I find it extremely disgusting, the statement that was made by the president of the Teachers Union when he said basically that he don't care about no structural adjustment program and no restriction in relation to spending. They want their money and they want their money. That to me is disgusting. Because while we're talking about what, 4,000 to 6,000 teachers, there are some 80,000 of us out here who pay taxes as well that don't have a cent in pension to get. And we don't have no gratuity to get. So who is you to say to the rest of us that you ain't care? We are nothing to get, you know. Devon, you have pension to get?
We.
You have gratuity to get?
No.
But we contribute. We pay taxes as well. So for him to come out and say basically that he doesn't care, to me is an affront to each and every taxpaying Grenadian. And even those that, well, everybody pays tax. So it's an affront to every Grenadian. Because you are saying that you only care, and yes, you're a union leader, and we expect you to care about your demographic. We expect you to care about your people. Good morning to you, the Honorable Kendra Mathurin Stewart. We hope that you're having a wonderful day today. Yeah, well done yesterday. Now, you cannot come to us, Mr. Union Leader, and say basically that you don't care about that. You have a law that has been put in place that says that the government of Grenada cannot spend over a certain amount of money on a yearly basis because it's going to put us in a situation back to where we were in 2018 where you had to, you're making $10 but you're spending 17. So that you're always in a deficit on a monthly basis. So laws were put in place that restricts the spending of government so government does not return to that situation. And you're saying you don't care about that? Just find the money and pay? So what about the rest of us? I ain't have no pension to get. And don't come and tell me about us in Parliament I get gratuity. I never get no gratuity. That's fiction. Me ain't get no gratuity. Nor do I have any pension. So don't come and talk about parliamentarians have. Should we be focusing on reducing the parliamentarian zone or making sure that everybody, not only teachers, can get pension and health benefits and so on? That is the focus of this government, trying to make sure that everybody can get piece of the pie. But instead of that, you have this argument that, parliamentarians receiving a pension and parliamentarians receiving a gratuity, so everybody else must get, all the teachers must get their gratuity up to them levels, certain levels and that sort of thing. And ignoring the fact that outside of the parliamentarians and outside of the teachers, that the rest of the Grenadian population is a look at NIS. If we pay in NIS, that is the type of pension that we are. That's the only thing we have, and we have no gratuity to get there. So when you say you don't care, you're basically telling 80-something thousand of us that you don't care. That's what you're saying to us. And I find that to be disgusting. And then they attack the Minister of Education to say that she shouldn't send out no release. She should, and she has a right and a responsibility to send out a response. Who want to vex? Vex. All your face is all your own are saying it as it is. Yeah? Because at the end of the day, as always said, nobody can assume her because his facts are talking. At the end of the day, she has a responsibility as the Minister of Education to remind teachers of their responsibility in it. There is no industrial dispute between the Ministry of Education and teachers going on. So for teachers to willy-nilly just pull their time from the classroom is a very unfortunate situation. Yes, everybody has the right to strike, but we know that there is a procedure that ought to take place for when industrial action is taken. Industrial action is a nice way of saying strike. That you have your discussions, your negotiations. If negotiations fall through, you go to arbitration in front of the Labour Commissioner. And when you reach in front of the Labour Commissioner, it doesn't go through. And then you decide that, okay, we are at a stalemate. We're going to strike right now. You issue a strike. But you don't end up in a situation where, first of all, there's no industrial dispute. In fact, teachers, you had hundreds of teachers who were temporary, as I was saying earlier, that have been made permanent. So they're now permanent within the system. They ain't have to worry to wait to get a letter when September come or nearly in October to go back into the classroom and hope that they're going to be getting a salary at the end of the month. They are permanent within the system. They can go within the financial institutions and do different things. The same as is being done for nurses right now. So don't let anybody come and play politics with this thing and come and try and tell you that government don't like teachers or government forcing teachers. These are the same teachers that just had 101 of them approved earlier this year. 101. The NDC administration didn't do it. It was not done before. This new National Party administration did it. Ensured that those individuals have some sense of security. It is this new National Party administration that also negotiated to ensure that they could receive their emoluments, and is it emoluments? What they call it again? But the increases for up to the end of next year have already been put in place. They didn't have to come next year, because usually you go and you negotiate backwards. So you'd come in 2018 and you negotiate for 2016, 2017 and so. But they have already gotten approval, signed, agreed, signed, sealed, delivered. They have gotten the approval for their increases for, I believe it's 2019, 2020. I don't want to say anything that's not true. I know for 2019, and I believe it's going into 2020 as well. So they have gotten their thing. They had to get their payments, and so when the new National Party came in, it meant $40 million it had to pay out. And the teachers get the money, and all the public workers get the money. What the rest of us got? What did the rest of us got? Yeah, I paid income tax, increased income tax, for the period of the structural adjustment program, right? That was addressed about 2 years ago. That was addressed. Teachers, other public servants receive a one-off payment. Did I get a one-off payment? What about all the people who are in the private sector right now, who've been paying? They've been paying the increased tax on the income tax that was in place for the period of the structural adjustment program. And the other people who have also contributed in different ways. Did they get a one-off payment? Public servants and teachers get a one-off payment. We didn't get a one-off payment. So you can imagine how we feel, knowing that we made sacrifices as well. By the end of the day, you want to hold the government to the truth, to something that they did not even have to get involved in, because we know the Hermelin Armstrong case only deals with up to 1985 and a specific group of individuals.
You know, Sheldon, what I have a problem with the leadership of the unions, in my view, they deliberately, right? They deliberately got and involved the teachers of our nation to strike on a strategic day or days, right? And I'll say that is the truth. How can you, as union leaders, understanding, right, that a national, an event that has national implications, right, about our constitution, about the way forward to our country, and so, and you will encourage our teachers to go and strike one day before and one day after that?
But listen,
I mean,
the thing is,
that is disgusting.
The thing is this, Devon. The government has never once said that teachers don't deserve a gratuity and don't deserve a proper pension so that they could retire in comfort. The government has never said no. The government is saying, though, that yes, they have to retire in comfort and so on. But what about the old lady whose entire life she spent picking up cocoa or picking cocoa? What about the old man whose job was as a farmer? He do his own thing. He never worked for other people. He earned his living on his own. And now he's gotten too old to continue the farming. He doesn't have the support and so on, and he needs the help. What about those elderly people who were never in the government service and they want a little assistance right now? They want a 2-sheeter galvanized for the house so that when rainy season comes around again and the rain start to fall and the wind start to blow, that 2-sheeter galvanizing fly off of the roof and they're starting to get wet on the bed in the night. Or they have to pray that rain don't fall tonight and sleep in a corner. What about them? It can't be that one group of individuals, and I'm not calling them greedy. I'm saying there's a misunderstanding that we have to take into consideration that there are other people in this country as well. That yes, we want to make sure that you are comfortable in your old age. But what about the rest of us? So how could you say you don't care about the Fiscal Responsibility Act? How could you make that statement?
You know,
what are you saying to the rest of us in Grenada when you say you don't care about no Fiscal Responsibility Act? Put the country in debt again just to pay you, and then it will come to a state where you can't receive your salary? They wasn't receiving the salary on time during the NDC. They went on strike.
I have heard. I stood in an area, right, and I have listened to about 2 or 3 teachers and some other public workers, right? I'm speaking. And you know, one of the things that one of them was stating, and it's so sad. Oh, we want money. The government had to give us money. Look, they hire more Imanis. They hire more Imanis and bring them in.
So lead the young people on the streets to go and rob and thief and prostitute themselves and just give you more money. Well, how are you going to enjoy the money when the young people that you're saying leave outside and give you the money? How are you going to enjoy the money when they start to rob? Because you they come and buy, you know. You are the money. When they don't have and you have, it's you they come and buy. So that makes absolutely no sense. That makes sense?
Not at all. I
just because they're
just
spending money on young people.
I don't understand the reasoning. And I'm not here to say to the teachers or the public workers that they don't deserve what is theirs. But you have to understand, right, that not one group of people within this country deserve everything, right? We all, if the government can give everything to every single citizen of this country, they will give. But they can't. Do we want to see our country go back to the days between 2008 and 13, right, and 13, when even you, the teachers and public workers, couldn't get salary on time? Do you want to go back to that days? I mean,
so imagine there was on contract.
We need to think.
They were on contract. They weren't getting salary on time, and there was no discussion about pension. And tell me one strike that the teachers called between 2008 and 2013.
Not one.
If you want to see hypocrisy, just think on that one. Chew and ruminate on that one a bit. Between 2008 and 2013, teachers were receiving their salaries late. They were not receiving permanent employment. They were set at them on contract. There was no pension discussion and gratuity discussion taking place. Name one day of rest and reflection they take during that period of time. Name one. Anybody, call me now. Let me check the phone line. I said, ringing just now, we go inside. Name one day during that period of time that you heard they went on strike. Then you're going to see the hypocrisy. That is the reason that last night, Dr. Mitchell had to make the statement that he made, that he will not attempt another referendum in his time as Prime Minister, because if he is the issue that people are not going for something that they know is good for the country, then he has to step away from it. Yeah? So you go and call our next referendum and people say, well, if it's Dr. Mitchell Day, I don't give him no legacy to say he changed the constitution. So you vote against it. If he is the problem, then he says he's going to step away from that process. He wouldn't go and do that again. But meanwhile, remember something. There's still an award sitting on his table right now as Finance Minister of the year 2018, isn't it? He is still the Prime Minister of Grenada. He is still, within the Commonwealth of Nations, the most successful politician ever in the democratic system of governance. Let me say it again because it has burned some people craw. He is still the most successful politician ever in the Commonwealth of Nations in the democratic system. To win all the seats back-to-back and to have won all the seats previously, and as General Secretary of the party back in 1984, to win all but one. So you have to understand that he's the most successful politician. To win all the seats coming from opposition, and then to win all the seats twice while in government. He's the most successful politician. That didn't change yesterday. The fact that he's Prime Finance Minister of the Year did not change yesterday. The fact that Grenada's economy is projected to grow by over 5% for the year 2018, while if you add up Barbados, Jamaica, and Trinidad, that their percentage growth still doesn't match up to Grenada. That the only countries that come close are countries that were hit with hurricanes like Dominica and St. Kitts, Barbuda, that have construction taking place, and therefore, because of all the material and work that's taking place in those countries, their economy has received a slight boost. So they're rebuilding after a disaster. Meanwhile, Grenada is just building. That other countries are calling on Grenada when it comes to the environment, when it comes to climate change, when it comes to making sure that your finances are done properly. Other countries are looking towards Grenada. Yesterday didn't change that. When you look at the fact as well that Grenada's tourism industry is showing increases now on a yearly basis, and for the first half of this year as compared to 2017, it's showing increases as well. That wasn't changed yesterday. That you're seeing increased employment in Grenada from the 40-something% at the point in time of coming in 2013. To know that just last month, you had what? Close to 2,000 people engaged. So you had the young people that were engaged under Imani, some 850. Then you had a further 500 under the Empower program. Then you had around 8,500 in the bushing and the environmental wardens program. Then you have the 60 that are within the police force right now. And that's just in the public sector. If you're passing by Silver Sands right now, you see people wearing uniform because they have gotten a job. They are working. Yeah? Then the jam is RBTT, Naz, that they jam up the last time. Nobody can get you. Or First Caribbean. First Caribbean, they jam up First Caribbean. Nobody can get in. They go in and collect their salaries. Yeah? You think yesterday changed that? No, it didn't change that. And the work continues. We have a caller.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Romain.
Good morning to you, sir.
And good morning, Sheldon. Good
Morning.
morning, Grenada, and to the listening world.
Morning, morning.
How you guys doing?
Hey, quite fine, man.
Hey, not bad, man.
All right, man.
Getting ready for this
Hey,
road
listen,
speech.
I'm somewhat sad, disappointed, and I'm wondering where did it went wrong, because my whole thing about it is anything to improve our island and our lives as a people, I'm for it. And my little bit of understanding and the way I understand the CCJ, I realize that it's something that would improve the country and better our lives as a people. So hence the reason I say I'm a little bit sad and disappointed, because like I said, anything to further enhance and better our lives, that I'm for. But nevertheless, I hope that we will continue to fight, because it's something that is needed, and something that whether or not we want it, I think we will have to go down that road at some point in time in the future. And I heard you mention it a number of times, so I need not to try to reiterate that, but I know it's imminent. At some point in time, we'll have to face it. So whether or not we choose to, but I think it's better that we choose to do it on our own terms. So hence the reason I think that we should continue to fight. The other thing I'd like to talk about is that we enjoy one of the most safest and peaceful island out here throughout the world. And yesterday's decision was another building block in us to ensure our safety. Because when you explain, and when we have the lawyers explaining as to the reduction in as to the amount of fee that it would take someone to hear the case, when you compare the CCJ and the Privy Council, clearly the CCJ, the reduction in the fee, the average man, it was another stepping stone where the average man could have his say as to if he feel like he has been wrong, he can turn to get his justice. And that was denied. And I cry shame on some of these people that say they love people and say they want to improve people's lives, and would still turn around and encourage the people to say no towards something that would improve their lives. I understand that, yes, politics, but I think that it's high time we should move away from this type of politics that just say no, and people wake up. Let's wise up. If people, because of politics, gonna come to you and say, just say no, you need to realize and know that this person don't care about you. They only care about themselves and propagating their own agenda. You know what I mean? And sometimes people don't have to tell you who they are. Just the things that they say and what they stand for, it's enough to tell you who they are. So, I mean, like I said, I'm very disappointed, but nevertheless, we need to continue the fight. And you guys keep on doing the good work, man. Thank you very much.
All right, my friend. Take care. You know,
let's just get the number 4407377
347-329-3101.
And we just like to say a special good morning to all of you online. Yeah, we realize several of you are online. And Depot, yeah, it's right now. The next thing is that we're gonna end up in the CCJ by eviction, eh? Yeah, by eviction, because I'll be evicted from the Privy Council. That's exactly what is going to happen. Yeah, but again, some folks, and I notice, I have not called anybody that voted no yesterday dumb, stupid, or dotish. I believe some people did not understand and therefore decided to stay in what they consider the safe zone by letting what they know right now continue. Some people were misled, but then there is a portion there that only voted a specific way because of hatred. They just hate a particular individual. Which is why Prime Minister has all right to say that if I am the reason that this isn't passing, then I will separate myself from it. I will not do it again during my period. If another government does it, and this is the important part, he also stated that if another government intends to do it, he will support it fully. He will give his full support to it. We have a caller.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm not sure. Is that what
good morning to you, sir. Mr. Romain.
Yes, my dear.
I heard you made a statement there before the caller from about, and you're exactly right. That is the point I was trying to make. Look at the time when they gone and strike. Look at the time. They know. Then I said, so for we as a people bad-minded, look at the time. They go and strike. So he was right. That's the point I was trying to make when I talk about the civil servant. You understand? I don't know better them, but look at the time. They gone, they stay away from school the day before and the day after. So that alone, they think Grenadians stupid. But I was sorry. And some people don't come out and vote as they should. Yeah, but tomorrow, please, Lord, everybody know where to go. Tomorrow, I'm waiting for you. I'm going to all the parliament office and wait for somebody tomorrow morning. And I'm going to make sure I went up early yesterday morning because I might live when you're at court take place. But my children and my grandchildren. Eh?
All right, Kavi.
I'm making a sacrifice. You're too bad-minded.
Okay, Kavi. Okay.
Don't go in Granada. Don't go in the room.
All right.
Because you don't hear your problem.
Later, Kami.
You know, when it to the union leaders and so, it may be a tactical thing that you did, your interests, your own interests, and so, but for the nation, it was devastating in terms of you basically on the eve of a national event, you are doing things to distract the nation's people. Shame on you guys.
That's a perspective.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey. Good morning to you, sir.
Brother Ian.
Yes, man, that's him.
Don't tell me you're calling Wyland.
But as usual.
Go right ahead, man.
How things, man?
Good, man. Great.
Very well, very well. I just presume that we're talking referendum, if I'm correct.
Yeah, man.
Right. You see, Brother Scott, I just want to, and Brother Romain, I just want to make a point here. It is rather amazing that I would be traveling this morning and listening the way some people behaving about NNP lose referendum and they think he's so and so. Now, let me say this. This is a referendum. NNP didn't lose anything. NDC didn't win anything. Grenada would have missed out. It's not about NNP or NDC. And it is time that people understand that. Whatever happens is not about NNP nor NDC. Grenada missed out a golden opportunity to go forward. The point here is these very sad persons who big up the CCJ and say we should be forced to be on the CCJ years ago But whatever happened and blah, 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 and we should have been there, and if it was my party, we'd have done the same thing, blah, blah, blah. They are the ones who turn around and that is what under the bush. But people have to understand here. Now, if it reaches to a stage, which I doubt it will happen, that certain persons in this country have to go to the CCJ, I'm sure they can make their way to the CCJ. But there are persons cannot even go to the #1 magistrate court in St. George's with a proper lawyer. And they are the ones who doesn't even, pretending that they doesn't understand what the CCJ is all about. I spoke to a couple of persons, but in fact there was an argument which I wasn't part of, but I was listening. And all these people care about, if the thing they pass, Kit Mitchell would have get too much praise, and Kit Mitchell. Are you going to suffer a country for one man? Is that what you're telling me? You suffer in a country because of one man who could afford to help himself. But it is because that one man is concerned about the citizens of the country, not much about himself, but about the citizens of this country. He wants betterment for his country, not for himself. You know, look, a big honor was bestowed upon him the other day, best minister of finance in the Caribbean. What did he say? He didn't take it, He gave it to the Grenadian people. He could have taken us beat chest and said that mine, I the biggest best minister of finance, that is mine. He could have done that. But he gone the other way. So people need to understand CCJ is not about NNP or Kit Mitchell or NDC or whoever it is. It is about Grenada. And what I'm saying is Grenada would have missed out on a golden opportunity. And I am not sure if me or you will live to see that opportunity come back. I'm not sure. You understand? So I think as citizens of this country, we need to think bigger than that. You know, there are certain times we need to just put politics aside and think about the country. Forget about NNP, forget about NDC. Yesterday was that day when we had to forget about NNP and forget about NDC and come together, hold each other hand and run. But instead, he behave as though it's a general election and NNP lose. May I remind them, in 2016, they vote no across the board. Some sorry no, because we should have added the opposition. That is what under the bridge. Vote no. 2018, 15 seats again. So the results of a referendum have nothing to do with that general election. Grenadians, remember that. Just making the point. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, brother. But the thing is simply this, I think some people just are programmed into no. They programmed into no mode. So they programmed into referendum, no. CCJ, no. And that's why they end up with no seats and nobody in parliament, except the two that they get in the Senate, who made a no-show when the CCJ bill was being discussed. So it was another no again. So, I mean, at the end of the day.
You know, I cannot understand. Some of our politicians or leaders, community leaders and so, who have done what they have done and so. You know, but are prepared still. After you deceive and everything about the people, spread all sorts of propaganda about that particular issue, instead of you educating people about it and so, you do so much damage to it. You are the same leaders that are going to come back in front of the Grenadian people for other issues, you know.
You know, there are actually people that think that the results of the referendum are going to affect the results of the election, but we'll come to that one in a while.
Good morning and welcome.
Morning, Devon, and morning, Sheldon.
Good morning, my friend.
I just got to say I'm satisfied with everything, huh?
Well, I see all your handle business in Carriacou, man.
Eh?
Carriacou and Petit Martinique handle business, man.
Yeah. Well, what we going to do? Is that what we have to do?
Yeah. People at Carriacou and Petit Martinique handle business.
Yes, man. We have to do what we got to do.
All right. And so I say a special good morning to the Honorable Kindra Matthew and Stewart there for me, yeah?
Okay, we'll do that for you, man.
All right, man. Bless you.
Restriction for you, too?
Yes.
I ain't fine. I want you going too close. Stay at distance, shall we? Yeah.
Right,
say good morning and think from afar.
Rain coming up at Relevie.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, my brother. I was surprised I stepped outside earlier and saw some rain had fallen here.
Yeah, rain
it was sunny when I got into the room. Yeah. So I'm saying this. To the teachers of our nation, we respect the sacrifices that you have made, but you must respect the sacrifices that we all are making. It cannot be a situation that you're trying to pressure the government's hand into doing something that is going to take away from the rest of us simply because you want it a specific way. I ain't calling you all greedy, because if I was a teacher I wanted pension and gratuity too. And if you was a teacher, you want pension and gratuity too, Devon.
Of course.
And you want the best that you could get. But at the same token, we have to take the rest of the population into consideration when it comes to this. And to say that the minister has a responsibility, and she discharged her responsibility, and properly so. She has a responsibility to remind teachers there's no industrial dispute taking place, and therefore to strike. And you could call it their rest and reflection, whatever. Don't try to beat us with the English languages. You all that teach us how to use it is a strike.
Let me ask you that.
Rest and reflection, it is a strike. Because you are not on the job. Yeah? Respect the rest of us. You want us to respect you? Respect the rest of us too. All right? That's all I'm asking. Go ahead, Devon.
Who is paying the teachers for those 2 days that they are absent from?
We're paying it. Me and you, we're paying.
So that is fair on the taxpayers. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, my friend.
And pleasant morning to you all. Now, gentlemen, Mr. Scott and Devon, and to our listening audience, let me start off by saying first, look at our progress. Look at our successes over the last 6 years. And I want you to tell me which one of the government initiatives that the NDC support. And the answer is absolutely none. You see, none. Now, the government have made it clear that they will not go back to where we was before when the NDC left office, regardless of the political cost. And the government have to hold tight. The government make it clear that a lot of things will be possible providing the physical space allows it. So, I'm saying that if teachers have to stay home for the next month to make the case, then so be it. At the end of the day, the masses will realize what the teachers is asking for, what the government said they can give, and where we are economically, and we will see if it's possible. And if it's not, the parents, the people out there will have the final say. Now, Mr. Scott, listen, yesterday, the people was asked to make a decision, and they did. The same way they did on March 13th. And we have to respect it and accept it. Because as we normally say, it's tobacco real well pressed. But listen to this. Just imagine. Listen to this carefully, brothers and sisters. Just imagine the NNP could work Obia to win the majority in 15 different constituencies, but they could not work Obia to win a simple majority. What I'm really saying here is that, brothers and sisters, when you hear Brer and Nancy's story, treat it as comedy. But Mr. Scott, let me know. Some people may say, go back to the drawing board. But you know what I'm saying? I'm getting political here now. What I'm saying is that we as NNP members and supporters, we're going back to hastening the process of the institutionalization of the NNP, whereby making elections necessary, but the outcome predictable. Because this long-term development plan we have is one whereby we have to keep our naysayers out by all means necessary in order for us to achieve our goal. Mr. Scott, Grenada will continue to make progress. You know, and listen, when you hear people call NNP supporters needy and greedy and illiterate and stupid and zygons and zygotes and this kind of nasty name, I wonder what they're saying now. Because remember, the people voted 35,000 and they give NNP all 15 seats. And with this referendum, you understand, just, the 17,000 or so come out and vote. I want to know, when you look at it, if the NNP supporters was the kind of stupid and illiterate people that they made us out to be, we all would have go out there and vote CCJ whether we understand it or not. But the fact that so many people stay at home, it shows the depth of the intelligence of the Grenadian electorate. And when we go there and we give the NNP 15 seats to control both houses, is not by accident. It's by a situation that has been well thought out, and we realize that the best party and the best group of people to govern this country at this present time and in the foreseeable next 20 years is no other party than the NNP. Brothers and sisters, have a pleasant afternoon.
All right.
You too, my brother. Have a wonderful evening.
17 minutes remaining on today's program. 17 minutes remaining on today's program. Yeah, and we hope all you behaving all yourself wherever all you is. Nice, right. Yeah, because we're coming up onto the Parliament would be prorogued either today or tomorrow. Parliament would be prorogued. And as soon as that is done, we're going to be having the throne speech and the reopening of Parliament on the 19th of November. I'm just trying to get the exact date of the budget presentation. We know budget is coming up as well. So we're going to be hearing, let me start smiling when I talk about the budget. The budget presentation, yeah, it is coming up a little later this month. But we'll be having the throne speech and reopening of Parliament that will be taking place on the 19th of November. All right? So stay tuned for those. We'll be broadcasting. As usual, we broadcast via the various medium and so on. So we'll be making sure that you all hear all of the wonderful information about what is intended for the next year. All right? I think we have a caller.
Good morning and welcome. Good morning.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, you're live, caller.
Hey, morning, how are you?
Quite fine.
You hearing me?
Yes, we're hearing you clearly. You go ahead.
You hearing me low, man. I hear you low.
Okay.
Yeah, and I listened to some of these NDC supporters yesterday and this morning. And, you know, these people rejoicing and these people saying that and then NDC win and then NDC win. But I asked us, well, what they win? What they win? And if you hear these people rejoice, I say, come on. It's like, it's ridiculous. It's like they don't even know what they win from what they don't win. I can't believe that we have some people in Grenada at this time have this kind of thinking that they take it. And if you hear I hear one guy say, oh, if you see Keith Mitchell face, and if you see face and them kind of way, I can't believe these people take these things in this kind of political way. All right, brother. Thanks.
All right, my friend.
It's interesting to hear them talk about if you see Keith Mitchell face, because the thing is, the interview that he did last night, there was no camera on him. He did it via phone. So it's a picture of, and so it's his official picture that was up on the screen. So anybody that's saying, if they see face, that either have to be the press secretary, me, Nazim Benjamin, or one of us that was around there, because the thing that was on television was by phone. So I mean, the thing finished and they still lying. They just hate the man so much that they had to continue lying like that, because there was no, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, the interview that he did last night, he did it via phone. And there were very few people there when he did that interview. So I mean, to talk about, look at Keith Mitchell face. So what? Yeah? So what? Is he removed as Prime Minister of Grenada?
You see,
he in the office packing up, he boxes right now to go? Go ahead, Devon, go ahead.
It came to a situation there where they use the political leader and Prime Minister as a scapegoat, in other words, to say no. Everything is about him. Everything is about him. Oh, we don't want Dr. Mitchell to be this. We don't want him to get that. We don't want to do it when he's in office. Sometimes I wonder what some of us Grenadians really want for ourselves. We are not thinking of ourselves, but we studying what others think about, right, about the Prime Minister and how they feel about the Prime Minister. And thus, you make up your mind because of how others feel about the political leader and prime minister of this country. And you suffer yourself, right? You suffer your children. You make decisions that you will regret sooner or later. It's about time as a people we start thinking for ourselves. A lot of us.
4407377. We have roughly 13 minutes remaining. 13 minutes remaining on today's program. We're going to try to take more of your calls right about now. Remember, though, but the Ministry of Youth, let's say a special good morning to the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis and to Senator the Honorable Norland Cox. A special good morning to both of you. Yeah, you all had the ministry busy. Yeah, because right now, yeah, Festival of the Arts is taking place right now. So the Festival of the Arts is taking place right now. Some wonderful performances taking place within the Festival of the Arts thus far. So, breath of fresh air to see a return of the Festival of the Arts. It's been a while, huh? It's been a while. Yes. Should I hear me back in the days in festival? Yes, I used to take part in the Festival of the Arts for several years. Yeah, used to clean up too. All right. So this Saturday, though, they have the a health fair and the fitness revolution. That's the Ministry of Youth for Youth Week, right? So they're going to be having a health fair from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Diabetes check, blood pressure check, weight check, height check, nutritional tips, BMI services. Where's BMI? Body mass index services, blood sugar tests, and screening. And let me see where that is taking place. That is taking place in St. John, I believe, at the Cuthbert Peters Park. Then they have the fitness revolution from 3 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. A fitness revolution from Concord Junction to Cuthbert Peters Park in Guelph. And they're going to have that powered by the Big Bad Sound System. Dancercise follows with Fit for Life Health Club and the SSU Fitness Club. So you want to start getting in shape and so on before you go and eat all the old pork and thing for the Christmas and so. Fire! Yeah, eat all the old pork and thing for the Christmas. You could join the Fitness Revolution with the Ministry of Youth and Sport as they go into Youth Month 2018. We have a caller online.
Good morning and welcome.
Hey, good morning to everyone.
Good morning, my
morning.
friend.
Sheldon.
Yes, sir.
In closing, I want you to read 2 Timothy for me, please. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 13. Read it over and over and over and over before you close. 2 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 13. Read it for me, please.
Okay, my brother. I will find it in a while and we're going to read it. All right? Nice. I will find it in a little while and we're going to read it. Yeah, somebody's asking me, what time is the swearing-in ceremony? I'm trying to find out what time is the NDC swearing-in ceremony. I don't know if the Prime Minister has already demitted office and he packy boxes and that kind of thing.
Usually take 2 days.
Yeah. You feel like go send somebody for the van and them this time again?
Yeah, I think.
Don't send somebody for the vans.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't send somebody for the van. And
Ponytail.
them. Yeah, nah, he kind
of. No.
Right now, he more like a pony than a tail. Anyhow, don't know who they're going to send for it this time. Yeah, because that's how some of them are acting, as if they won something, when their very members are the ones that can possibly end up in the situations that they are in need of the CCJ. They're very members. Yeah, it's not a sad thing for me, because when that comes up, when the situation comes up, I'm one of the people that are going to make sure that each and every Grenadian know who to blame. Each and every Grenadian knows who to blame. Yeah, going to make sure of that. Believe me, I'm going to make sure of that. Yeah, even if I have to do a 5-hour program, I'm going to make sure that each and every Grenadian knows who to blame. Because remember, the night of March 13th, 2018, this year, you had a lot of people that start to say, whoa, boy, mean if we vote for that thing, boy, we'd have our opposition leader, boy, whoa, boy. But at the end of the day, they say hindsight is 2020.
You see, and a lot of them too, they went out there with anger, trying to persuade persons to vote no. You could have felt the anger in them because it was not them, right? And it's Dr. Mitchell and the NNP that's in the position to do it, right? So you hear the angry voices like they have a score to settle, and so. I mean, you know what? I want to advise them, go back, rewind, and listen to some of the comments that you guys made before the referendum. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Citizen Sheldon Scott. This is Citizen Samaria Lillian Sylvester.
Good morning, citizen.
Yesterday morning, I made one of the most significant decisions I've made, and I'm proud.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to share something, though. Somebody called me this morning, and they said the problem they had was that they didn't trust the headquarters of the CCJ in Trinidad, and with all these Trinidad judges, they didn't trust Trinidad to corrupt, and they didn't trust what might have happened. And I asked them how many Trinidad judges on the CCJ, and they say all of them.
Lord. So they didn't even know that it only has, in fact, I don't even think it has one now. I don't think it has any now.
One, a female.
One now, yeah.
Justice Ragnat Lee.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
You know? So I said to them, I asked them how many judges, and they say all of them, and I said, no, there's one, as a matter of fact, there's a female judge on the from Trinidad on the CCJ, and all the other judges, and I listed where the judges are from, and they say, well, I didn't know that. But I would prefer if the headquarters in Grenada.
But I'll say this, though. I am proud of the decision that I made yesterday. And as I was explaining to somebody this morning, because they said, oh, well, you went and voted and your one vote didn't count because look, the thing still didn't pass. I said, no, it counts a lot. Because when I'm 80-something years old and my grandchildren ask me, what did I do when the opportunity came on the 6th of November 2018, I can proudly say that I voted yes as one of the people looking for progress and to move Grenada forward. So I have nothing to be ashamed of. Hello?
I think we have to continue that process of education. But when you pour water on a dog back, you know what happens. So somebody else will continue that process, not yours truly.
Okay.
Anyway, have a nice day.
Same to you, my dear. You enjoy the rest of your day today.
All right.
Yes, indeed. And note, Antigua, the Antiguan Prime Minister Gaston Brown Devon, he has said the same thing. He said he is not going back into the process again. He's not going to go back into any referendum. So it's not just Grenada and Dr. Mitchell. Gaston Brown of Antigua is saying the same thing.
You know why yesterday for me was a proud moment, all right? For me as an individual, I had the opportunity to take my son and my daughter to give them the experience, right, as to what and why, right, I was voting for on that day. See, I brought them, they have not of voting age, 7 and 8 and 14 and so, but just giving them the experience, right, to witness that, to be part of that, letting them understand why it is that I am going to vote yes for the CCJ. And so, to me, that was my proudest moment for a long time.
Yeah. Cammy said they're coming for the 2 van just now and the swearing-in is on Sunday.
The swearing is on Sunday?
Yeah, she sent a message there. Cammy said the swearing-in is on Sunday and they're sending for the 2 van
for
just
the 2
now.
van. I wonder who they're sending for them 2 van.
I know they're sending for the 2 van, but they said they're sending for the 2 van just now.
Okay.
I'm really trying to find out. Listen, and to those pseudo intellectuals and those who have been saying, oh, yesterday, then NNP didn't lose anything yesterday. In 2016, way closer to a general election than this referendum was, the referendum did not pass. It was a successful referendum in that you wanted to stage, and you staged. When some people filed court action to stop the referendum, was successful in staging the referendum in 2016. The bills did not pass. But guess what? While some people were thumping the chest, and I remember a certain individual, every platform they go on, they were saying, second referendum coming March 13th, second referendum coming next election, second referendum. And while they were shouting that from every platform, what ended up happening to them March 13th? What ended up happening? Yeah, it was a referendum. In truth, it was a referendum on them.
They couldn't sit down. They had no seat.
Yeah, because when we were saying we can't sit down. apparently people heard and they said, okay, let's give them a seat. And they gave us all the seats. And then remember, Naz and them was kind of practicing not to be in parliament by always leaving and so on. So people realized that. So they was practicing. They knew what was coming.
They evict their own self from the political process of this country.
Party and no, so they got no seats. So whoever wants to go around and fool themselves into thinking that yesterday is going to have a bearing on the next general election, go right ahead there. Continue to fool yourselves. I'm sorry, no, you're not fooling yourselves. Yeah, go ahead. Believe what you want to believe. Yeah, continue to believe that. If that's the only way for you to relax, apart from drinking rivers, yeah, go right ahead and continue along that line. And see what happens when the next general election rolls around. Yeah, so go right ahead with that. If that's the way for you to relax and console yourself, go right ahead. Listen, Dr. Mitchell said it. To an extent, Prime Minister Gaston Brown of Antigua said it. I even listened to Peter Wickham last night in Antigua speaking, and he said it as well. Wickham said two things. First of all, before I get to the statement that was said by all three. He said that the outcome of a referendum does not impact a general election. It does not impact a general election. In St. Vincent, Ralph Gonsalves had a referendum. The referendum was not successful. He had an election right after and he was back in office. Won again. In Antigua, in Grenada, you had a referendum in 2016. You had an election in 2018. Again, the government was returned with all the seats. Not to say they even lose one. They were returned with all the seats. When some people thought they won something with the referendum. So all those who think that referendum come yesterday and that is NNP lose something. The NNP didn't have something to lose. There's nothing for the NNP to lose there.
The referendum didn't put NNP into office.
And it didn't take NNP out of office either. If it's so, all you know, send for the van. Go and check them guys. Send for the van. Yeah? Go and get the box on them. Go and lock down the complex. Yeah? Go and lock it down. But the thing that both Prime Minister Gaston Brown and Dr. Mitchell said in relation to the referendum process, Dr. Mitchell said that if he is not in office when the process comes around again, he will support it. Because it has nothing to do with political party. He will support it. He believes that this is the right thing to do. And similarly, we heard similar statements from Prime Minister Brown that this is the right thing to do. And if the opposition was smart, what they would have done is support. Throw their support behind the CCJ. Because they've gained nothing. Politically, they have gained nothing. They might have a feel-good movement for a few hours, but they have gained nothing. Their political leader still expired and retired and resigned earlier this year. Their chairman still expired and retired and resigned last month. They still can't hold a convention because they are still not a together party. They still have no party machinery. They still have infighting. They still have disciplining of different members of the organization taking place internally. They still have a fractured structure that isn't closing together and coming together, but still falling apart because you have people who call themselves the original NDC. Then you have people who call themselves the new movement, the youths within the organization. And then you have those that just don't know wherever it is. When the breeze blows, they go that way. So they still have their confusion that they have to sort out. They won nothing last night. And it's not going to help them politically. So if they want to feel that it will, they can go right ahead. But at least we held a convention, innit?
Yep.
And we were able to elect everything from political leader right down to floor members, innit? Without any confusion or chair pelting or all kind of thing like that. Nothing like that. We're able to do that nice and decently. Another political party can't do that. But yet still they're talking about they win. They win what? Are they even sure who are sending as candidates the next time around? But we saw several of them on the no campaign. Yeah? Go for the leadership. We know what's going on. I know. Go for the leadership. I know who I'm talking to. Go for the leadership. We go hear about you. Yeah, anyway, that's all the time we have for Hard Talk today, Devon.
Yes, well, it's all the time we have. Very informative and so on. As we move forward, as a people, we just need to focus and do some soul searching, think for ourselves, and hey, hopefully in the future we may be able to make the decisions that we so desire, and not let people or others decide for us what to do.
Yes, indeed. And folks, we'd like to thank each and every one of you. Thank all of the radio stations who have been on with us for the entire program today. All of you online, all of the online listeners who I didn't pay too much attention for today, but don't worry, we go handle that. All right, we'll be back tomorrow, God's willing, with more hard talk. My name is Sheldon Scott.
I'm Devon Romain.
And in everything you say and do it safe and secure. We want to be speaking to and with you.
And not about you.
Love you all.
Peace out.
The Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts present Youth Week 2018. Empowering our youth, shaping our community, protecting our future. The week of activities kicks off on Friday, November 9th with the Minister's Address from 8 p.m. Saturday, 10th November, Health Fair, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cuthbert Peters Park, War, and the Fitness Revolution, 3 p.m. Concord Junction. Sunday, 11th November, it's the Peace Concert, Grenville Brush Terminal. On Tuesday, 13th November, ministers meet with the youth at Her Majesty's Prison. Thursday, 15th November, from 5 p.m., it's the Imani Graduation, Youth Awards and Gala. And on Friday, 16th through the weekend, it's the National Youth Service Weekend. Every parish get involved. And on Saturday, 17th November, it's Youth Expo, Explosion Fashion and Cultural Day, 2 p.m. until at Hero Square, Victoria in St. Mark. So remember, Youth Week 2018, November 9th to the 17th.
Acting Prime Minister, Honorable Gregory Bowen, Minister of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and Arts, Honorable Nolan Cox, Minister of Youth Development, Honorable Kate Lewis, Parliamentary Rep for St. George's South, Honorable Nicholas Steele, other ministers of government and parliamentary representatives, permanent secretaries, and because this program is homegrown to the Ministry of Youth, it is very important that I let you know our permanent secretaries, Mr. Kevin Handel and Mrs. Ann Isaac, representative from Her Majesty Prison, representative from the religious community, representatives from the business community, stakeholders, staff, participants, youth workers. This morning, I say good morning to you by using the acronym E, eager, V, versatile, E, energetic, R, rejuvenated, Y, yes, the youth. That's supposed to be very orderly, and who would be not yet shortly, and who would be all embracing. In short, good morning, everyone. No, that's not everyone. Good morning, everyone. We are happy today to launch this significant program, which is captured by the name Empower. Do you know what empower mean? Empower for me mean movement. It means possibilities. It means operation. It means wit and wisdom. It means enabling. And yes, it means reaching out to that endangered species that we call young men. Put your hands together today for all those young men. As master of ceremony, I promise you this, that we'll make it very short and very sweet. You know something? Women can tolerate and can stick things out. But men, you know, we don't like those long things. We like to get to the point. So we don't like those old talk. We like to get it on. So we're going to get it on, brothers. So I say to you, have patience. Hang in there. I know it's a little bit sticky. I know it's a little bit hot. But we'll get it through in a very time-efficient manner. What do you say? Right. So we're all on board. As a Christian community, we acknowledge and believe in the Almighty God. And in everything that we do, we will always put him first. And to do that first, I call Dr. Chris Joseph, who would come and lead out. I invite you to stand.
Standing, I want you to say to the person on your left and your right hand, I want you to say it is a beautiful day. If you believe that, say amen. Yes. Let us pray. Father, we just pause for a moment to give you praise and thanks. Your word says that in everything that we should acknowledge you, and you're going to direct our path. This is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Father, we thank you for waking us up this morning. We thank you for health. We thank you for strength. And we thank you for bringing us here safely. And Father, even as we pray today, we ask, dear God, that you're going to have your divine way in our midst. We ask for your direction. We ask, dear God, that you're going to bring clarity to what we are doing. Father, we thank you for our leadership. We thank you for the ministers that are here, the permanent secretaries. Oh God, all the leadership of the ministry of youth. We thank you for our special guests. And God, the young men that are here today. Your word declares that young men are called because they are strong. And God, we recognize, dear God, in our midst, dear God, that there are young men that are energized and ready to go forward in this activity and to do, oh God, what you have designed for them to do. And God, we thank you for this ministry, for facilitating your plan and your purpose for their lives. So, Father, again, we just want to thank you and give you praise. And God, even now, dear God, we ask, dear God, that you're going to just cover this program. We know that the enemy would not like, God, what has been planned. But in the name of Jesus Christ, we cancel every assignment. We cancel every plan. And God, we speak progress. We speak purpose. God, we speak success over this program in the mighty name of Jesus. God, those, dear God, that are going to be given leadership, dear God, we ask, dear God, that you're going to direct them. We ask, dear God, that you're going to give vision. And we pray, God, that this program is going to be a success. And at the end of it, dear God, that your name shall be glorified. And we are going to give you praise. This we ask of you in Jesus' name. Somebody say amen.
And to officially welcome you, I now call Miss Williams, who is the Empower Field Officer, to come forward.
Acting Prime Minister, Honorable Gregory Bowen, Minister of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts, Honorable Nolan Cox, Minister of Youth Development within the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts, Honorable Kate Lewis, Parliamentary Representative, Ministers of Government and Parliamentary Representatives, Representative from the Royal Grenada Police Force, Representative from Her Majesty's Royal Prison, Representative from the churches, Representative from the business communities, stakeholders, staff, and most importantly, all our invited guests, and most importantly, you, the participants of Empower. Pleasant morning to one and all. I know that many of you have taken time away from your packed schedule and have made an effort to be here to be part of this launch of the Empower program. Abraham Lincoln once said, and I quote, "The way for a young man to rise is to improve himself in every way he can, never suspecting that anybody's wish to hinder him." Unquote. And I repeat, the way for a young man to rise is to improve himself in every way he can, never suspecting that anybody wishes to hinder him. That is why I stand here today to give you a warm welcome. And we can say it indeed a warm environment. A warm welcome can be like a hug, and I hope that you feel as if you have been hugged and welcomed to this launch. This launch has been long anticipated by our ministry, where we as a ministry continue to make an impact in the lives of our young people, especially you, the young men, as you embrace this opportunity to enhance your lives. It is with great honor that I welcome all of you to this memorable event, and I do hope that all the sentiments and inspirational words of encouragement aid in your building process as we all move forward to make a positive change. Welcome one and all, and enjoy the rest of this morning's proceeding. I thank you.
We now kindly ask Project Officer, Mr. Royden Bihari, to present to us the expectations for this Empower program. Put your hands together and welcome Mr. Bihari.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me take this opportunity to congratulate each and every one of you for believing in yourself and showing the interest to be part of such an important initiative. Today, you should feel privileged and honored to be part of this journey towards an empowered Grenada. The occasion affords us the opportunity to reflect collectively on the current youth employment situation, the progress that we have made in implementing various practical programs, strategies, and policies to empower the youth of this state, and how to participate more meaningful in the economic development of this country. The youth ministry's role and function is to facilitate, create, implement, and enhance youth programs, services, projects, and other initiatives throughout Grenada. As such, the ministry seeks to provide the required resources that aims to facilitate the acquisition of skills and orientation that will assist young people, especially our young men, in making desirable choices for self-development and full participation at all levels in our society. Equipping you with the skills required for the jobs of today and those of tomorrow is a strategic concern for us at the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture, and the Arts. It is pertinent to observe that the ability to access global opportunities of exchange depends on how well equipped educationally, professionally, and skilled-wise our young men are to take advantage of new opportunities. Indeed, Empower is one of these. Every person possesses a unique skill, and the requirement is to develop a mechanism to identify that skill. I would like to stress on the need of two basic qualities to propel you as a participant of the Empower program. Firstly, it is the inner drive and initiative in one's mind and heart. So I want to remind you that apart from all of the nice talk you will hear today, it is you, the inner drive, that can propel you to achieve success. And secondly, how important it is for you to recognize the factor is the adoption of the dignity of the labor market. And dignity of the labor market in my terms is using or seeing all occupations, whether involving intellect or physical labor, deserving equal respect and dignity. Our vision for Empower program are laudable. And this can only happen if we equip you, our young men, with the skills that are required to meet the demands of a rapidly growing economy. And given the energy, the enthusiasm, and the innovativeness of our young men, you have the potential to contribute immensely to the socio-economic development of Grenada. As a ministry, we expect participation in the program, and we expect our participants of this program to break the barriers and aim high. Take the opportunities and take the program seriously and use it as a stepping stone to enhance your career. Display a high level of respect for each other and the work environment. Participate meaningfully in contributions. Display a high level of attitude towards authority, to teamwork and leadership while in the program. Set realistic and achievable goals while in the program, and be open to learning new things, confronting new challenges, and exploring new and innovative solutions. But finally, be professionals. Allow your conduct to inspire others to be greater. After all, I want you to remember that you must aspire to inspire. So you must inspire, or you must aspire, I must say, to inspire before you expire. I want to repeat that. I want you to remember that you should aspire to inspire before you expire. Very important. You have to face every situation boldly. And I want you to remember also that you have a ministry of youth that is committed and is always here looking out for you, our young people. But it depends greatly on your part to take the first step. Our government have made investment in youth development and skill building careers as our cornerstone of our developmental process. Now, it is your time for each and every one of you to contribute towards national development and the national efforts, which is leading to be a broad roadmap for productive skills development of the youth of this state. In conclusion, I would like to encourage you to arise. I would like to encourage you to awake. And most of all, I would like to encourage you to achieve. Be ready to take risk in your lives, as these risks will only bring you success. My best wishes are with you. Go out and win. Go out and lead this world. Remember, salvation of Grenada depends on the strength of Grenada. And the strength of Grenada depends on the strength of you, our young men. Young people, I urge you to be strong, be brave. Let us go out and release our potential, remembering that success usually comes to those who are busy looking out for success. I wish you all a productive tenure in the program, and I bid you God's blessings.
Before we get an overview of the program, I think it's important that we contextualize what is happening today. When we look at society and the construct, and we observe that we are losing our male, it is instructive to note and should be recorded. Grenada has done something extraordinary today in looking after a species that can be lost. Put your hands together for the government in taking such an initiative, and you, the young men, for responding to that call. Put your hands together for yourself. It's noteworthy. At this time, we would hear from our PS, Mr. Kevin Andal, who has responsibility for youth development, culture, and arts, to give us an overview. Put your hands together for me, sir.
Good morning. Following Mr. B. Harry and Mr. Philip is a very difficult job. I hope I don't drop the ball in regards to the momentum. Acting Prime Minister, Honorable Gregory Bowen, Minister with responsibility for youth development, Honorable Kate Lewis, Ministers of Government, Parliamentary Representatives, Representative for Her Majesty's Prison, Representative from the Royal Grenada Police Force, representatives from the churches, representatives from the business community, stakeholders, staff, but most importantly, you, the young men here today. What is Empower? As Mr. Philip alluded, it is to build you up, strengthen you, give you the opportunity to be self-reliant. But in this program, it is not E, it's the first letter, it is M, male. But I want to change it a bit also and add, I want to call it majestic power. Majestic because you are royal. Majestic because you are going to shape this country in a significant way. The government of Grenada has created and seek to implement the Empower program. And this program has been in the making for a while. For a while. And today is a good day because we see it realized in our midst. The purpose of the program is really to engage a cohort of young men, 500 of you, between the ages of 18 to 30 years, across the 15th constituency throughout our state. This program is geared to adopting an incremental 4-phase approach, whereby the cohorts, that's you, will be involved in a diversified training, inclusive but not limited to soft skills, direct skills, apprenticeship training, and psychosocial sessions. The program is of a 12-month duration in the first instance. Overall, the project, or the program I should say, should improve the quality of your life by promoting self-development and sustainable employment. The objectives of the program: to provide quality training for approximately, as I said before, 500 young males, ages between 18 and 30 years. To provide a source of financial assistance for training, and I want to say that again, to provide a source of financial assistance for the training and the costs associated with the training through a provision of a stipend for the 12-month period. Also, to facilitate an apprenticeship training program for at least 2 days per week for the duration of the 12 months. To create a small business fund which participants can access for the creation of small businesses after 12 months of training. To create an education fund which participants can use to further develop themselves academically during that 1 year. And to improve the marketability and employability of you young men through capacity building. The project sponsor. The project is sponsored by the government of Grenada. And we have a number of persons that would lend support in the implementation, like the National Training Agency, TA Marischal College, training providers, facilitators, participants, and other government ministries. You are the intended recipients. What would you receive? Training, soft skills, direct skills, and apprenticeship, and psychosocial sessions. Financial support to help you attend the training within your zones. The training will be done within your communities. Meaning that if you are from St. Patrick's East, or St. Patrick's West, the program would facilitate your training within your parish. And we can even go further to facilitate it within your various constituencies. We are not bringing you to the training. We are bringing the training to you. So you know what? You have to turn up. Because if you're bringing it to your house, you can't say you're going outside and sit down. You have to turn up. Also, expected outcome. We want to improve your leadership. Young men, we want to improve your leadership. Most of you may have children. Most of you are leaders within your home, within your community. We want to give you an opportunity and training so you can become quality leaders. We want to improve your quality of life. We want to improve your skill set so that you can access training, you can access jobs, you can access educational opportunities. But importantly, we want to change your attitude and your ability to make better life choices. And importantly, we want to reduce violence and crime within our respective communities. The Empower program have these deliverables. That we are looking to have an 85% retention rate. Now I'm going back. 85% retention rate. That means out of every 10 of you, 8 of you should complete this program. But you know what? I'm more confident than this. I think we are going to have a 100% retention rate. We are going to provide soft skill, which is called CORE. That's the name of it. So those of us that have problems with literacy and numeracy, we are going to provide this kind of training. We are hoping at the end that those of you that are engaged in direct skills training, at least 80% of you would get your certificate, CVQ or NVQ, so that you can show that I have done something for myself. And we're looking at the end that the education fund and the small business fund, at least 80 of you can access in the first instance. But we're looking more than this. If it's 500 of you, we're looking at least 150 to 200 of you saying to us at the end of your training, I want to start my small business, or I want to go further to advance my education. This program was tailored for you. We met with some of your colleagues before, and they said to us what it is that they wanted. However, in the weeks coming, we are going to meet with some of you again to reinforce or to change things in this program. This program is revolving. It is not cast in stone. When we meet with you and we go forward with you and we realize that we need to make changes, we are going to make it so that you at the end would be it will benefit you. This program belongs to you. It's a lot of money that the government of Grenada is investing in you. So you can't say that we're not doing anything for you. So you know what? The ball is in your court. What are you going to do? Are you going to be majestic? Or are you going to run away and hide? You know what? I don't think that would happen. I think we are going to have some kings, some royal people, and we're going to come back here at the end of 12 months, and we're going to show the nation of Grenada that they are in safe hands. Okay, you're going to take this country forward. I believe in you. We believe in you. Let us just do this thing. As we say, let us, when Empower people come in the place, when we touch down, the whole place, let's Sheldon. Let's Sheldon for positivity. Thank you very much.
In our flower garden, there are different types of flowers. And today, the pleasure is mine to call the rose in our garden Minister Kate Lewis to make some brief remarks.
This morning,
As I look down, I feel emotional, I feel happy, because 500 young men, the lives will be changed. Acting Prime Minister, Honorable Gregory Bowen, Minister of Youth Development, Sports, Culture, and the Arts, Senator the Honorable Nolan Cox, other ministers of government and parliamentary representatives, permanent secretaries within the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture, and the Arts, project coordinator, Mr. Earl Williams, all specially invited guests representing different sectors of our country, staff of the Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture, and the Arts, members of the media, and a special good morning to you, the young men of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. I am extremely happy to be here at this launch. Such an important program, the Empower program. The Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture, and the Arts, after conducting thorough analysis of all our programs and projects, realized that some of our young men in our country were not reached. All of the programs have been mainly dominated by young women. However, the government of Grenada fundamentally believes that no youth should be left behind. We wish that all the young people of Grenada can make a positive contribution to our country's development. Therefore, the government, through the Ministry of Youth Development, has developed and is now about to implement the Empower program, designed specifically for empowering our young men across our Tri-Island states, an investment of $6.2 million. We are very pleased this morning to be here with 500 of you young men. You've come from different communities across Grenada, from different socio-economic backgrounds. You've come with your different personalities and your different life experiences. But I hope that you've all come this morning with one thing in common: a desire for change, a desire to be an agent of change. As you were rushing out the door to get here this morning, I really hope that you did not forget to take your discipline and determination with you. You have to be prepared to work hard towards your own self-development. There comes a time in life when we must realize that excuses will not pay off. We need to face the mirror, each of us. Have a good one-on-one conversation with the person looking back at you in that mirror. Ask yourself some questions. What have I done in the last 5 years? Am I comfortable with where I am today? Have I achieved what I'm capable of achieving? What's my next move? What are your next move, young men of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique? You have been granted a golden opportunity to be part of the Empower program, which can help transform your life for the better. Please make the best use of it. Make it your duty to successfully complete the program. Do it for you. Do it for your family. Do it for your country. I say, just do it. I thank you.
Who have decided from very early in their development to devote their talent towards sending out positive messages. And today we are blessed and fortunate to have with us Looney Spark and Electrify that will come and sing a positive message. I'm a winner. Put your hands together for them.
All you good? All you good? All right. So I just want you all to applaud the government for such great initiative. Because we can see the way the world is going and the trend with our young men. As they say, the young men gone astray, but today we're going to make a difference, right? And everything that you do, we want to put the Most High God first, and you all are winners in your own rights. Let's go.
I'm a winner, you are winner, so we are winners, winners, winners. I'm a winner, so you are winners, yeah. 'Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I wake up, I'm feeling right, yeah. I'm feeling victorious from day to night. Oh, nobody can stop you because I know you can do it. You're a winner. From the moment that I wake up, I'm feeling right, yeah. I'm feeling victorious from day to night. Yeah.
Anybody feeling like a winner today? I want you to listen to the message carefully. Anybody feeling like a winner today?
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Right now I'm feeling so blessed, I'm feeling so strong, I'm feeling so right, that's why I'm singing this song. I'm telling myself that I can make it today, and no obstacles can come in on my way, 'cause I know I can do it with only one push, and I know I can make it with only one try. I know I'm gonna make it today, yeah, 'cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I wake up, I'm feeling right, yeah. I'm feeling victorious from day to night. Nobody can stop me because I know you're gonna bring it and you said they're gonna make it, right? 'Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I wake up, I'm feeling right.
I want to give them some words of encouragement. You want me to give them words of encouragement? Words of encouragement. I want you to listen this carefully.
I can do it. So look into yourself and start to discover the talent that you got. You could be shining like a star. Marcus Garvey said, without any confidence, you are twice defeated. No, and if you put your mind to it, you could achieve it. If I put my mind to it, Lord, I could achieve it. With the Most High by my side, yeah. We do everything with pride. And I know, anybody know this song? No, 'cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I wake up, I'm feeling right, yeah. I'm feeling victorious from day to night. Nobody can stop me because I know I can do it. I'm a winner. From the moment that I wake up, I'm feeling right, yeah. I'm feeling victorious from day to night, yeah. Nobody can stop me because I know. Like this, everything the truth. Somebody like this. I'm a winner, and you are winner. We are winners, winners, winners. Say I'm a winner, say you are winner, yeah, yeah. 'Cause I'm a winner. From the moment that I wake up, I'm feeling right. I'm feeling victorious from day to night. I'm a winner. Nobody can stop me 'cause I know.
It was a pleasure being here.
A very positive message. Do you believe you are a winner? If you believe you are a winner, raise your hand and say, yes, I am. Say, yes, I am. Yes, we are all winners. Happy to let you know we have 3 more items on the program. I promise you short, and we're going to keep it short. 3 more items. And we have reached the high point this morning, because in any activity and function that we go to, it's always important to hear what the big man have to say. And this morning, the voice you would listen to would not be the Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell, because he's somewhere overseas doing our business. But you listen to a stalwart. Don't mind those gray hair, it's only wisdom. And we're happy to have with us this morning our acting Prime Minister, the Honorable Gregory Bowen, to make some remarks.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Ministers, responsibility for youth and the arts. I think those components of the ministry have been aptly demonstrated here this morning with the beautiful rendition of Looney Sparks. Our other parliamentary colleagues, permanent secretaries, Dr. Joseph, whose invocation has been directly on target, stakeholders, including the social partners, the police, prisons, and the religious community, employees of the Ministry of Youth and other departments, participants, young men, and it's a pleasure to see the ladies in the audience, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen all. I am extremely pleased to be here today to address you on behalf of Prime Minister Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, who is away on state business. Sisters and brothers, this activity is a momentous one in the life of our country. For when the story is told, let it be said that this government recognizes the importance of ensuring that no young person is left behind. Let the story be told that this government met our young people, especially our young men, at the point of their needs. This Empower program that we are undertaking through the Ministry of Youth is in response to what we have seen in recent years. By and large, our young men are being left behind in academics and in the professional world. Our young ladies continue to blaze the trail. And while we applaud this, and we continue to encourage the initiative and drive of our young women, we understand that we have to move swiftly to guarantee our young men at least have a chance for a better life, and also to be good partners for our young women. Through this program, young men will gain specialized skills that are in line with their goals and passions. They will be able to start their own businesses in their own areas of interest. The choice is theirs. We simply are happy that we are able to assist them on this journey. With the onset of the heightened investment activities and the wave of construction openings that have hit this land in recent years, we have heard the complaints that there is a shortage of specialized skill sets to fill the vacancies that are available. In fact, skilled workers are being imported from neighboring islands. This should never have to be the case. We are woefully aware that we must move to correct this now, especially when right here in this room, there are hundreds of you clamoring for opportunities. It has been said that over half of the global population is under the age of 30. Therefore, we can be sure of one thing, that you, the young generation of today, will be the ones to find solutions to some of our toughest global challenges. That's why we are investing in you and in this nation's future. Whether it is ensuring that young men and women have equal access to education and skills training, business opportunities, or providing a young entrepreneur with the capital and network to start a business, we are investing in your potential. In the coming months, we will work to ensure that we find ways to keep you engaged and to strengthen this program and others of its kind. Your insights will be invaluable in helping us to do so as we strive toward Grenada's equitable development. With a focus on overall skills training, including developing better behavioral patterns, conflict resolution, and other soft skills, this program is helping to create stronger and safer communities and will assist the state of Grenada as a whole in sustaining its image as one of the safest countries in the region and in the world. Sisters and brothers, this activity is not only about job creation, it is also about social change. That is why, as a report to the nation and the work of the government in the last few months, I am extremely heartened and pleased to hear the direction of the youth. Their representatives, in reporting on the work of the ministry, are highlighting one important fact. The principal aim is to change the attitude. And not only of the young people, but the rest of us in government, our focal task is to change the attitude of the entire nation. Because if we do not change our attitude, we'll continue on the same path, make the same mistakes, and we'll not see development. One term that caught me, the youth are saying, we are not only intending to make employees of our youthful population, our aim is to make employers of the youthful population. So this is a fundamental issue, my brothers and sisters. This is part of the inheritance we plan to leave for the lovely young people of this nation who have put their faith in us to steer the ship to the future. You have said to us, give us the tools for success, and we will deliver. Today, we are making a down payment on your request. We believe that for every investment we make in your future, the nation will reap dividends. We believe that by keeping you productive and by honing your talents, you will make your mark in your own spheres of influence. We thank you for pushing us to do better as a government. Because when we look at you, we see endless possibilities, and we are encouraged to explore every avenue to give voice and action to those possibilities. Those of us who are blessed to do what we love today have only been able to do so because we were provided the tools by those who have gone before. It is therefore critical that we ensure that in spite of whatever the obstacles you face in life, you can rebound and have another chance to do it better. You can rebound and achieve. You can rebound and go forward, as long as you want to do so badly enough and you work hard. If you do that, then it is our job as a government to create the enabling environment for your achievement. This is the fundamental philosophy behind this program and everything else that we aim to do. It is not enough to say that the economy is growing. We must ensure that every citizen shares in that growth, from the very young to the very old. So today, as we launch Empower, let us never lose sight of the role that we all have to play in developing the youth of Grenada, Carriacou, and the Petite Martinique. At the end of the day, government can provide opportunities, but we cannot make you go after them. We cannot compel you to stay in the program and do your best. We can only believe in you and encourage you along the way, working each day to make the program better for your optimal advancement. I repeat, I'm happy to see so many ladies here today because the fairer sex has a vital role to play in ensuring the progress and success of this Empower program. So you young ladies, you recognize that you have your role to ensure that the young men remain on the straight and narrow path. Never underestimate your influence. Mothers, never underestimate your influence. We also cannot replace the role of the parents, caregivers, caretakers, and the communities in helping to nurture your growth, the Empower Young Men's growth. The success of this program, your success, will require sustained effort from all of us. Parents must, for all children, not only the Empower participants, work with the ministries of education and youth in meeting a fundamental goal of this government, that of evidence-based demand approach to careers. Again, listening to the youth as they report to the nation, they point out that many of the young people will go after one particular career. You listen to the courses being done at the St. George's University. Management, IT, management, IT. Nothing is wrong in this, but we must make the conscious and clear decision that the career path for young people will be based on the market demand as well as others. There are others who will go abroad and provide services and gain an income. But if all of us stick to one path, then the rules of economics will say, one, your earning capacity will be reduced. Irrespective of the path we take, once we have the optimal number, then no one could say, I can earn more because I have 2 degrees and I have a doctorate. Yes, the market demand will ensure that those skills will give you sufficient to maintain a good life because of the number of you in a particular area. So parents, when the children come to you and say, I want to do this, I want to do that, work with the ministries, work with them to guide them along the correct path. And those of us who are making it in society, in the skills, we must stand out and let them see us, be role models so that they can move along the particular path of demand evidence-based careers. We will have, therefore, the correct proportions to take the opportunities available now and those that will be created in the future. Let me end, therefore, by thanking all of you who are partnering with the Ministry of Youth and by extension the government in this meaningful endeavor as we strive to expand the horizons and future prospects for our young men. There is no limit to how far we can go together, and together includes the young ladies. It is therefore an honor and a privilege, and it is with great pleasure that I now launch this beautiful and magnificent Empower program. I thank you.
That I get all the men to commit themselves to the value and the virtue of such a noble program. So I'll do something out of the ordinary by asking Mr. Sheldon Charles to come forward. Sheldon Charles, come forward. And I would ask all the men who are registered to be part of the Empower program to stand. Stand quietly. And your representative here is taking a pledge to which I would like all of you to commit to. He's speaking in the plural for now, but I want you to individualize what he is saying. Mr. Charles.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. That song a little better. I am going to do the Empower Participant Pledge. We, the participants of the Empower Project, promise to take an active role in this dynamic project that was developed for youthful males. Complete the training to the best of our abilities and create opportunities to improve our academics and livelihood. Thank you.
Do you so promise all the men that stood? If you promise, say yes, we will. No, that weak man. Come on, let's go now. Yes, we will. Thank you very much. Kindly have your seat.
So what is your overall expectation upon completion of the training?
To start a business for myself. Maybe have a big farm, open a cooperative or something, and employ a few more when I finish. So I will be the employer.
Well, my expectation of the program is to see how I'll benefit from it at the end with jobs and other certificates and things, to see what I could do. Well, they say small business. If you want to open a small business, you can, but I'm looking for more coaching because that's where I'm based, that's what I know about. This is what I want to do. So hopefully I get a feel in this area.
Well, my aim is to just go out there and work hard and complete the training.
The Ministry of Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Arts present Youth Week 2018, empowering our youth, shaping our community, protecting our future. The week of activities kicks off on Friday, November 9th with the minister's address from 8 p.m. Saturday, 10th November, health fair, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Cuthbert Peters Park War, and the Fitness Revolution, 3 p.m. Concord Junction. Sunday, 11th November, it's the Peace Concert, Grenville Bus Terminal. On Tuesday, 13th November, ministers meet with the youth at Her Majesty's Prison. Thursday, 15th November from 5 p.m. It's the Imani graduation, youth awards and gala. And on Friday, 16th through the weekend, it's the National Youth Service Weekend. Every parish get involved. And on Saturday, 17th November, it's Youth Expo, Explosion Fashion and Cultural Day. 2 p.m. until at Hero Square, Victoria in St. Mark. So remember, Youth Week 2018, November 9th to the 17th.